everyone, welcome back to New York or Nothing. I'm coming to you guys after the best news of the season. The Knicks finally got their 4-game win streak. A few times I've talked to you guys this season about the 3-game win streaks that the Knicks have had on 6 different occasions, including this one. The Knicks have been able to get to 3 wins in a row, but this was the first time in the season that they were able to get over that hump and get to that 4th game, and it was against the New Orleans Pelicans. For the game, the Knicks came out on top in a really good win, and a really convincing win. They went through all the highs and lows of a basketball game. It's been a great streak since the Knicks have overcome the game against Memphis, where they didn't have a lead all game besides in the first few minutes, and they came out in overtime on the back of RJ Barrett to win the game. It's been really nice because the few games before that, the Knicks were having heartbreaking losses against teams like the Nets, the Celtics, a really weird loss against the Wolves. It was really heartbreaking to lose a few of those games against the Nets and Celtics because they were some of RJ's better performances. And yeah, he's been much improved in clutch shooting ever since Anthony Edwards had those weird words to say about him, even going 6 for 6 against the Celtics from 3, a career high. But it just sucks that we weren't able to close out those games, and you're noticing that RJ saving his energy for the 4th quarter to make these clutch shots to win these games. And since the Memphis game where RJ went head to head against Ja Morant, where we overcame that whole debacle, the Knicks have been on a tear. The game against the Raptors was a good one. We got to see a game where the Knicks overcame a Raptors run at the second half, and it's good that the Knicks are overcoming things like that, where teams are staying right there with them, where the defense isn't able to do everything and the offense really has to step up, because the Knicks, we know what they are on defense. This isn't a fluke anymore. They've been consistent all season with the defense, so now it's all about the offense picking up and getting much better, and we're noticing that they're able to stay along with these teams. I was lucky enough to go to that game against the Lakers at Madison Square Garden, and watching it live was awesome. Seeing Julius Randle go head to head against these players and one of his former teams, and taking it personally was so much fun. A lot of the shots I watched him make live were just like ridiculous, like very little spacing between him and the defender and still nothing but net, making these gorgeous mid-range shots. Handing them a loss was great. I think the Lakers came back to beat the Hornets the next game to close out their road games, but yeah, every win counts for us. That win against the Raptors brought us back to 500. The one against the Lakers, 1 above 500. Right now we're coasting at 2 above 500 with the game against the Pelicans. And let's start by talking about that defense. The Knicks defense, that's the best part of their game. The Pelicans have 2 great players in Zion and Ingram, but that's what it's all about. They're focusing on Zion and Ingram. The rest of the players are okay. They're not bad. Jackson Hayes is not a bad player, but the Knicks, when they're able to just focus on Zion, when you're giving Tibbs a little bit of time to game plan, we're noticing that he's able to utilize the players in such a nice fashion, and that makes me really excited to see what he could really do in the playoffs. Give him a little bit of time to game plan. He's gonna take care of business. I got to watch the Pelicans broadcast last night instead of the MSG one, and I really recommend that you guys, Knicks fans, watch other broadcasts besides MSG. Obviously, we're lucky to have Clyde Frazier and Mike Breen, but I got to check out that Pelicans broadcast, and you really get to see what other teams think about the Knicks. The Pelicans and the Knicks didn't get to play yet until last night's game, and all you could hear is the Pelicans announcers raving about the Knicks defense. They were talking about how they've heard nothing but good things about the Knicks defense, but seeing it with their own eyes, the only thing it reminds them of is the 90s Knicks defense, where Tom Thibodeau was an assistant coach for our team. And it's so good to have that knit and grit back on our roster. And the players are really playing for something and fighting for something. The defensive scheme, the Pelicans went over it a little bit. The Pelicans announcers went over it. It was basically just what a lot of teams did to Giannis in the Eastern Conference playoffs, where they would create a wall. All eyes are on Zion and making sure he's not getting his own. And you're gonna let the other guys get some points. It's gonna happen, but focal point is Zion, and that's why you notice that Zion was able to come out and get a career high in assists. He was able to pass out the ball when the double teams came, and you know, the Knicks did a good job of closing him out, but it's Zion Williamson at the end of the day, and he's gonna get his points regardless of what the Knicks do or don't do. It was really nice to watch that head-to-head matchup with Zion and Randle. You saw that it boiled down to exactly what they are. Zion was getting everything he wanted in the paint, and Randle was feasting off of mid-range shots and that three-pointer that's really come along for him. He started the game really hot, going 3 for 3 in the first quarter from three-point land, and you seeing him go up against his former teams back-to-back, it must have been a great feeling for him to feel like he's really progressed since then. And yeah, man, it's been so much fun to take this journey with Randle. He seems like he's a little bit more ball dominant right now, and I don't like to see that, but hey, if he's eating, if he's getting his points, that's not an issue at all. On top of that, the last 2 games were against his former team, so he definitely did have something to prove, and he's going to want the ball. He's going to want to shoot a lot more shots. But yeah, that was really cool to watch. Elfrid Payton has been being much more effective with his minutes recently. Not defending Elfrid, but just giving you guys the truth. You guys know I'm not here to defend Elfrid Payton. Do not want him back on our roster next year, but seeing him, you know, make a few threes in a couple of games, really helpful, and he's been doing what's his bread and butter. He's been taking it to the rim, getting easy points around the rim, and that's what you want to see Elfrid do, stick to what he knows. But it's also helpful that Tom Thibodeau is using him much more effectively, playing him in less minutes. Let's talk a little bit about our guy, AB, Alec Burks, making a final moment push for the 6th man of the year. I think Jordan Clarkson definitely has it in the bag, but Alec Burks has been coming alive in the 4th quarter. It's so nice to see him get those buckets down the stretch when we really need them. And you know, he's been on a little bit of a shooting slump alongside Emmanuel Quickly, but they've both been finally able to get out of it, and that's exactly what we need if we're gonna make this push to make it into the 6th seed, the top 6 seeds in the Eastern Conference, which is exactly what we want. We want to avoid the play-in games, and we really want to make it into the playoff scenario. And I think we have a really good shot at that. This video was a little bit more laxed and slowed down, but I want to pick up the pace again with you guys. I want to be talking to you guys more regularly. I really hate that I don't do videos after losses, but I promise after the next Knicks loss, I will do a video. So hopefully that won't happen anytime soon. I don't know. Hopefully I can just keep doing these streak video with you guys that I love doing so much. Anyways, really appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe if you guys like my content. If you guys want to hear more about New York sport content. Really great talking to you guys. Hope to see you guys soon. Peace.